Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to give a little TLC to my husband's work planner. He definitely uses this thing and it gets so beat up and so dried out and it needs some love. So this is a Chic Sparrow, if you can see that there. And this is a Mr. Darcy or Toffee. I think it was Toffee at the time that we bought this for him. So it used to look like this, but he takes this thing everywhere. It goes with him to work. It sits on the dashboard of his truck. He takes it to the ranch. He takes it to the coast. He uses this thing to no end, and he needs new notebooks. He has completely destroyed and removed all elastic from the elastics, and as you can see, the leather itself is super dry and super stained, and it's gotten super firm because it needs a lot of love. So we are going to do a TLC leather care video and restringing and resetting this up. And although it won't look like this is one of mine. When we finish, it should look better than this, and it will definitely be happier. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video because I'm going to be filming it kind of in installments. Because A, I don't have time to do it all in one sitting. B, when you go to clean leather, you have to let it dry, and then when you go to condition it, you have to let the conditioner and the oils and everything soak in, and it may take a couple of treatments to revive his planner. So this is part one of the video, but it's all going to be a one video. So I'm going to put it all together. Ideally, I will finish it within the week, so my nail polish won't change, and you probably wouldn't have noticed that it was separate video pieces kind of clipped together, but I did want to let you know kind of how I was doing it. He does have some, let's see, Pink Panther pen. He tends to grab whatever pen he finds, and I guess right now he's using a Pink Panther pen. So we're going to take his pen out, and we're going to take his notebooks out. I do have a video of his setup that I did a couple of years ago, I think, and his setup really hasn't changed. So I will put that in the cards up above so you guys can check it out. But he carries a Midori notebook in here, and that's what this one is, if I can get it out. So he carries a Midori A5 notebook. This is an A5TN. He has a check register in here from Paper Penguin, and it's discolored as well, but he uses that check register insert, and I just replace it when he needs more. He does have an old calendar in here that he hasn't been using. It's not even for the current year, so we're going to take that out. He has some paperwork in here. Oh, another calendar that he's not using. Something apparently that my kiddo gave him. He's got some cards, some business cards, and the inside kind of shows you the patina on the leather that hasn't gotten dried out by the sun. So ideally we'll get back to something more similar to this, but I don't think it's going to look quite this good, and we will see what we can do because I have not done this for him in, it's been a couple years actually, and I really should be doing it every year. I just tend to forget because he always has it with him and he never gives it to me to do. So he's out of town and he left it for me so that I could do this and share it with you guys. And so we are going to do this together. So I'm taking out the elastic and I'm throwing it all away. It is destroyed. And we will be restringing it when all is said and done. And we'll put some new inserts in it. His check register insert will go back in, but everything else I'm probably just going to replace. So elastics are going in the trash. And then this is the cover that we are going to clean up. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to use to clean this up. Then I will film all of the installments of cleaning it up and all of that, put it all together so you'll see it all kind of in one video in chronological order. We will condition it, and then we will come back and get it ready with elastics and inserts and all of those types of things. All right, so here I have leather care cleaning goodies. I have this cloth. I have an old t-shirt. I have an old, it's It's a cloth diaper that I used with my kiddo. We use them for like spit up rags and stuff. I have a little buff. I have a brush. I have a leather salve, which is a conditioner. I have a boot dressing that conditions, preserves, and protects your leather. I have boot wax. I have a Chic Sparrow leather conditioner and protector. I have leather oil from Otter Wax. I have several different shoe creams, although some of these have color in them, so we won't be using those. I have a neutral shoe polish. These are all things that I love, like brands that I love. I have Wonder Balsam from Doc Martin, which is actually quite amazing. And then I have Neat's Foot Oil, which we probably won't use. The thing that I can't find, or that I need to look for, is I do have an actual cleaner. So I do need to find the leather cleaner so that we can clean it first. And then we will start the process of applying conditioners and buffing and all that kind of stuff. So I will find the leather cleaner. I will share that with you guys. And then we will start the process of revitalization for my husband's Chic Sparrow that he obviously loves dearly because he has really used this thing. Okay, so I am out of my favorite cleaner, which is a saddle soap. But I do have 3 other cleaners. So I have Leather Honey's leather cleaner. And then I have Apple brand leather cleaner and conditioner. So, oh, it's like twisted in the little package. This one is a cleaner, and then this one is a conditioner. This is the company that makes Apple Guard, which is a really good spray to protect like an undyed planner from water spots and oil and stains and things like that. And so this is from the same company that does Apple Guard, and this is their cleaner and their conditioner. And then I have Furniture Clinic's leather cleaner, and I also have their, I think it's called Protector. So I have both. So I have 3 different leather cleaners, but this is the one that we're going to use because this one is the most like the saddle soap that I normally like to use. So the saddle soap comes in a container similar to this, like a little tin, and you use it with a sponge and it gets foamy and you can clean your leather with that. And this does a similar thing. So this is the one we are going to use. So let me move my box of conditioner out of the way for now. And then I'm going to tell you how we're going to use this, and then I'm going to go get ready for it and come back and show you or do it with you. So if you buy this, they sell it on Amazon. If you buy this in the little kit, it comes with your sponge and then it comes with like a little towel. And so what you do is you get your sponge wet and you wring out any excess water, and then you add this to it and you kind of squeeze it until it gets kind of foamy and sudsy. And then you use this to apply the cleaner to the leather. And then once you're done, you wipe off any excess with your towel, let it dry, and then you'll condition it. So I'm going to go and get this wet and add this so that it gets sudsy, and I'm going to do that in the bathroom. But then I'm going to come back and do this on camera with you guys. But before I do that, I do want to wipe this. So just before I use the cleaner, I'm just going to use this rag, and I just want to kind of wipe the leather to get any dust off of it, just so that I don't make like mud. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. Woo. Okay, let me go get this wet and sudsy, and then we are going to clean his cover. All right, so we are nice and foamy, and the screen, my camera setup is going to shake as I do this, and I apologize. Put this rag down real quick because I'm going to flip this over and do the inside, and then I'm going to flip it back just so that I can clean the inside as well. It's not as dirty, obviously, because it doesn't get exposed as much, but it's still dirty. this back over. I did get a little fuzz. So now we are clean. It will pull up some of the color. Some of this is dirt and some of this is a little bit of the color, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything if a little bit of the color comes off, and you can always get a shoe polish that has color if you want, but there's plenty of color left on this. So I'm just wiping off any excess of the cleaner, and you know what, I'm going to do it with this rag because I like this softer rag better. So I'm just going to wipe off any excess cleaner. With a soft rag. And now we have to let it dry. So when you get leather wet, like a leather cover or shoes or bags or what have you, it can take up to a week for leather to fully dry if it gets like soaking wet. But in a cleaning process like this, it's not going to take a week, but it will probably take overnight. So we're going to let this dry, and then we will come back and check it out, but it's already looking a little bit better. Definitely needs conditioning though, and some TLC. But we're going to let it dry, and it will lighten up, and it won't be so dark. It's dark because it's wet. So we're going to let it dry, and then we'll do the next step of TLC for his cover. So I'll see y'all in just a second. Okay, I have let this sit actually for a couple of days because I had family in town, and so I wasn't filming, but it's already looking a lot better, but it definitely needs some oil and conditioning because it's still really stiff and firm and dry. So I'm actually going to use leather oil on here and treat it, and then we'll see how it does. And then if I think it needs a little bit more, then I'll add a salve or something like that. But first we're going to do leather oil. So this is from Otter Wax. You can buy like an entire leather care kit from them. They even sell it on Amazon, and I really like it. You shake the oil to kind of mix it before you use it, and then you apply it with a soft cloth. So I have this old t-shirt, and that's what I'm using to apply it. I will say everyone is home. My dogs are acting completely crazy, especially the puppy, and my boys are watching Shark Week or Shark Fest, Shark something. So you're probably going to hear some noises from the other room, and I apologize, but hopefully it's not too distracting. But we're just going to put some oil on here and rub it with a circular motion. Once again, I apologize for any movement on my camera. We're just going to get it nice and conditioned. Go inside that secretarial pocket. Let's get up inside there. And then we're going to get up inside the card pockets. And then we'll do the card pockets and the secretarial pocket, and then we'll flip it and do the other side, which is where it needs a little bit more help. I'm keeping this rag underneath it, that way I don't get oil all over my filming area. So you just rub in a circular motion and apply that. Let's open these card slots and stick some inside. We're going to do the secretarial. And the pen loop. So generally speaking, you should condition your planners once a year. If you're using them all the time and you aren't exposing them to sun a lot, you don't necessarily have to do it as often, depending on the leather, because the natural oils from your hands will actually condition it on its own. But generally speaking, doing this once a year to your planner is just good practice. You don't need to do it more often than that. And you never need to do it when you first purchase a cover. Sometimes I see people get covers and they think that it's dry. They think it feels dry or it looks dry. And so they'll condition it out the gate. And the leather isn't dry. It can just have a less shiny appearance or like a drier feeling. But the more you touch it and the more you use it, the oils from your hand will kind of take care of that on its own. So when you first get a cover, there's no need to condition it. But about a year after you get it, you should give it a little bit of TLC. You don't necessarily need to clean it. You can take, for most leathers, just like a baby wipe that doesn't have alcohol in it, and you can just wipe it down real quick, and then you can condition it, let it sit overnight, and then you're pretty good. But if you're one of those people that likes to suntan their leather, because some people like to accelerate the patina process, even though it will patina on its own naturally. But if you're going to do that, you need to condition it. You should suntan in very short installments, like with a timer, like 15-minute sessions. Then you should condition it after you've been suntanning it, because it will dry out, kind of like how my husband's did. And his was not from, you know, suntanning for patina purposes. It's just because he takes it everywhere and he never leaves it at home, so I never get a chance to take care of it. He's actually missing it quite a bit right now. So I'm going to do another coat of the oil on this exterior because it was so dry and it's just soaking that oil up. And then we're going to let it sit, and then we'll check back, see what we think, and if we need to add a salve, we'll do that, and then I can put a protectant coat on it, and then we'll restring it, and we'll add inserts back in it, and we'll be good to go. But it is already looking so much better than it did when we started. So there we have it with the oil on it, inside and out. And we're gonna leave this, and then we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, another couple days have passed and I finally have time to get back to this. So this is my hubby's beautiful cover, which is definitely looking better. But I do think it needs one more treatment. It's very soft and flexible over here. It's a little stiff on this side still, but part of that's just because it has pockets, but it is feeling so much better and looking so much better than it did. So the last treatment that we're going to do is we're going to put this leather protection cream on from the Furniture Clinic. So this will condition the leather, but it will also protect the leather. So this is the last piece we're going to do, and then we're going to let it dry. Then I'm going to come back, we're going to put in new elastics, put in some new inserts and his old ones that he needs to keep, and then we will be done. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different. I don't always show this process for covers, so I thought it would be fun, especially since his needed so much TLC. All right, so the instructions, let me close the lid real quick. Instructions are to clean with the leather cleaner, which we already did, to remove any dirt, and then pre-test, which I'm not going to do, and then apply this to a cloth, rubbing into the leather, leaving it for 10 minutes, and then buffing it with a clean cloth, applying 2 coats additionally, and then top up every 3 months. So we're going to do 1 coat and then see how it looks, just because I already used a different product. But we have the cream there, and we're going to start on the inside. And once again, sorry if the camera shakes a little bit. I also apologize if you hear noise. My husband and my kiddo talking in the other room. If I do a second coat of this, I probably won't do it on the inside because I don't think it needs it as much. I would just do it on the outside, but I'll kind of see how it looks. And I may not film the second coat. We'll see. I can always just tell you guys what I did, because it's going to be the same process as this, and I'll just let you guys know if I add one. I don't know that you guys really need to see me apply 2 coats of it. This protection cream also infuses like a leather aroma into your leather, so it makes your leather smell more leathery, if you like that smell, but not in a bad way, not in like a chemically way or a way that causes me to have migraines, because I am sensitive to smell. And this just smells like yummy leather, like walking into a boot shop. Not overpowering or anything like that. It's amazing what a little bit of love and TLC can do to restore your covers. You can also do this for, you know, shoes, purses, bags, stuff like that. All right, so we have applied that. Let's make sure it's all even. I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna check it out. If I feel like it needs a second coat, I'll add a second coat, and of course I will let you guys know if I do that. I don't think there's any reason to film me doing a second one, but I'll let you guys know. And then we will wipe it with a soft cloth, install elastics, install inserts, and we'll be done. Okay, I decided to go ahead and put a second coat on just because that was the recommendation and we had time, or I had time. So there are 2 coats on here, and now we are going to take a soft cloth and we're just going to rub. And I'm going to rub the inside too. And then I have a horsehair brush, and I'm just going to brush it. It's going to shake the camera a lot, so I'll probably like fast forward through this or skip over it just so you're not nauseous. But I'm just going to brush this on here. So now it's been cleaned, polished, buffed, all the things, and we are going to put new elastics in it and set it back up. Okay, so we have elastic, I've got scissors, I have a barb. I do have a video on adding barbs to your traveler's notebooks and restringing them. It's an old video, but it's still a great tutorial. So that is linked in my like tips and tricks section, but we're going to do it on this video as well. And then I have brown elastic. Some of this is already cut, so we're going to see what I have that's long enough. All right, this elastic is going to be long enough, and I feel like that's a good color. This one is long enough, but it's too chocolate brown. This is too short, and I feel like that matches. We'll probably use this for the closure. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure how much elastic we need. So to do that, you're going to want 4 lengths for your 4 elastic plus extra to tie. So what I do is 5 lengths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll cut it a little short. And then I'll cut it a little short of 5, like that. And that's the elastic that we're going to put in here. And everyone does this differently, but what I do is stick it in there and hold it right there, kind of in the center, just so it doesn't slide around while I'm doing the lacing. Then you stick one through that back hole. Then you feed that to the top to make your first elastic. Then you put that through the center hole, and back through the hole over here where the other spot is, like that. There you have your second elastic. Then through the bottom first hole, through the top first hole. Now you have 3, and then back through the center top, and you'll tie this off and you'll have 4. You can do this where you tie it at the center. You can do it where you tie it towards the bottom. You can do it however you want. I'm just going to kind of do it halfway to the bottom, and you just knot that, and you have 4 elastics, and then cut off the excess, or I like to cut off the excess. And you can burn this too, or you can put nail polish, like clear nail polish on the ends so that it doesn't fray. I'll do that off camera just because I don't have clear nail polish next to me, and I also don't have a lighter near me. And then we're going to do the closure elastic. So your closure elastic needs to be long enough that it wraps around your cover, but it doesn't need to be super loose because it's going to stretch. So pretty much the same dimensions that you would need just to wrap around the cover, like that. Or just measure across your planner laid flat and then add about 1 inch or 1.5 inches on the side. So we're going to cut that, and then we're going to add a barb. Before I add the barb, I just double check to make sure I'm good with the size and how much I want to kind of put inside the barb. And you lay the elastics close to each other like that. And then the tips go on this part of the barb, and then the tail, the part that's going to wrap around your notebook, goes on the back end. And I basically do it so that the elastic's just barely sticking over there, like out the edge. And these are not the right little plier thingies for this, but these are the ones I had out because I was working on a charm. So this is what we're going to use. They work, they're just, I don't need the soft grip for this. And then you're just going to squeeze it like that. And there you have your elastic closure. And then you're going to feed that elastic, the loop, through the hole in the spine until it's on the other side and you can grab it. You grab like that. And your barb is going to lay flush against your notebook like that, so you don't have a bump in the center of your notebook behind your inserts. And then we'll test real quick. A perfect fit, which is awesome. And now we're going to put our inserts in it, or his, not ours. So let's put his Pink Panther pen back in. I don't know if it fits in this pen loop. I actually can't remember how he had it in here. Yep, it does. All right, so we're going to put his pen back in there like that. And then I have some new inserts for him. These are from Amazon. I think I have these linked in my Amazon storefront. I'm pretty sure. They come in A5, they come in standard, they come in passport. They're pretty inexpensive. And it's just a set of dot grid notebooks. So one with a black cover, one that has a white cover, and one with a craft paper cover. So we're going to use the craft paper. And then we're going to put his checkbook register back in there. He wanted to swap out the Midori notebook, and he didn't want to put that in there. So it was kind of getting beat up. So we're going to put this in the front. I'm going to put the checkbook register on the elastic that doesn't have the tie. And then I have an extra checkbook register one. This is what they look like. They're from Paper Penguin. So I'm going to put this blank one in the back so that when he fills this one up, he has space in this one. And if he decides that he wants an extra notebook in here or another thicker notebook, I'll get one and add that to it. or if he decides he wants a new calendar insert or something like that. But that's his setup. I do have a video on kind of how he has his planner set up and how he uses it. It's an old video. I might have mentioned that at the beginning of this video, but you can definitely check that out as well if you need ideas of a simple setup for a traveler's notebook, or you need an idea for a setup for your husband or something like that, because this is pretty simple and straightforward. He just keeps some finance stuff and some notes in it for the most part. But that's his cover with all the TLC restrung, inserts added, pen added, all ready to go. So that's my video giving a little bit of TLC to my husband's traveler's notebook, cleaning it up, restringing it, and getting it set up again. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.